A very warm welcome to all the students of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Keeping up with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students. A very warm welcome to all the students of Standard 8. Today we shall move ahead with our portion in English. English Unit 2.5 The Happy Prince, and this prose chapter is written by Oscar Wilde, and I am Miss Daisy De Silva, teacher of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College, will be explaining this prose lesson for y'all. Before we move ahead with our prose chapter, let's know more about our famous author. His name is Oscar Wilde, and in full terms he is known as Oscar Fingal O'Flaherty Wills Wilde. Okay, the short form of his name is Oscar Wilde, but his full name is Oscar Fingal O'Flaherty Wills Wilde, and he was born and was brought up in Ireland. He was an Irish writer, he was a poet and a dramatist whose reputation rests only his on his only novel. So he was very famous in writing novels, and he was a good poet, and in his lifetime he wrote 9 plays, 1 novel, and numerous poems, short stories and essays. Okay, so if we see his picture, he looks so young, and he was he used to write these poems and short stories, and if we see that his stories was mostly emphasized on values more than moral or social themes. So he mostly used to emphasize on values, how we should care about people more than social themes. Like, for example, social theme means the problem that pure society is facing. Well, can say child labor, all this all are social themes. So his main focus was values. For example, helping, you all can say, to do something good for others. So that was his values, and we see in his writings, in his essays, in his poems, we see that he is so involved in giving us the themes, giving us the values in his writings. Okay, so one of his value we will see today the in our prose chapter, The Happy Prince. Before we lead to the topic, the prose chapter that we are going to study today, remember that this chapter is a fairy tale, a romantic allegory, which means human existence, the needs of human beings. Okay, you all can say the expression by the means of symbolic fictional. Okay, and the truth or generalization about human existence. Okay, so such kind of story is this Happy Prince, and it is a fairy tale, to be very honest. And this stories even your grandparents must have told you all. So let's refresh our grandparents' memories if they have told you all this story. Our grandparents are great. So for those who don't know this fairy tale, we will be moving ahead with our chapter today, prose chapter. The Happy Prince, page number 46 of your English textbook. If you all have your English textbook, please open your English textbook to page number 46. The Happy Prince. The statue of the Happy Prince stood high above the city. So there is a city. The city's name is not mentioned. And we see that there is this statue as mentioned in the picture, and the name of the statue is the Happy Prince, and it stood high above the city, so that Happy Prince was able to see the entire city, such huge the statue was. It was covered with gold, its eyes were bright blue jewels, and a red jewel hung from its waist. So we see that the statue was covered with gold as mentioned in the picture, and its eyes were bright blue jewels. So his eyes was were very bright. It was like a blue jewels, and a red jewel hung from its waist. So we see a red jewel that is hung on his waist. Okay, everyone thought that it was very beautiful. Why aren't you like the Happy Prince? Mothers said to their little boys when they cried. So everyone thought that this statue looks so beautiful. It was looking so bright in the moonlight, and all when small children used to cry, their mothers used to tell the small children that why can't you all be happy like this prince? Sad men looked at the statue and said, I am glad that someone in the world is happy. So some mothers used to tell their children that, see, why are you all crying? Be like this Happy Prince. And some sad men on that street in that city used to look on this statue and say that, I am glad that someone in the world is happy. So the people around the statue used to look at this Happy Princess and used to say that, I am glad that someone in the world is happy. One night a little swallow flew alone over the city. So there is a bird as mentioned in the picture. Swallow flew alone over the city. His friends had gone away, but he had stayed behind for 6 weeks. So that birds had his own group, but this swallow remained in this city, stayed behind for 6 weeks. Where can I stay tonight? He thought. So the swallow was thinking that where should I stay today? Now you all know that birds don't have house to stay. Okay, they either stay in their nest or in someone's balcony or so on. So he was thinking that where to stay tonight. Then he saw the statue. I will stay here, he thought. So he saw this Happy Princess statue, and then he decided that he will stay here today. It is high up, so there is plenty of fresh air. So since the statue is very high and very huge, he thought that he will get plenty of fresh air. He landed between the feet of the Happy Prince, and he said that I have a golden bedroom, he thought. So he landed between the feet of the Happy Princess, not princess, sorry, prince. I'm so sorry. He landed between the feet of the Happy Prince, and he thought for himself that, wow, today is my lucky day. I have got a golden bedroom to stay. But as he put his head under his wing, a large drop of water fell on him. So as soon as he was trying to sleep, okay, head under his wing, you all know how birds sleep, right? A large drop of water fell on him. Okay, we'll move ahead and see what exactly fell on him. He looked up. That is very strange, he thought. There is not a cloud in the sky, but it's raining. Another drop fell. I cannot stay on a statue that does not keep me dry, he thought. I must find another place. So when he was trying to sleep, one drop of water fell on him, and he looked up and said that it is so strange, uh, that there are no dark clouds at all, it is not even raining, so how can a drop fall on me? Okay, then he thought for himself that if a statue cannot protect him, cannot keep him dry, he decided that he should find another place, and he decided to fly away. Okay, but as he opened his wings, a third drop fell. So first drop fell, then later second drop. When the second drop of water fell, he decided to go away, but then when he, as soon as he opened the wing, a third drop fell. He looked up and saw, ah, what did he see? Let's see, what did he observe? The eyes of the happy prince were full of tears. Okay, so we see that as soon as he looked up, he saw that the tears, that was tears from the happy prince. Tears rolled down his golden face. The face was very bright in the moonlight, and the swallow felt sorry for him. Now the tears were rolling down his golden face, okay, and the face was very beautiful in the moonlight. Okay, so in the during the moonlight, since it was full of gold, it was looking so bright and so beautiful, and the swallow felt sorry for him. Who are you? Asked the bird. I am the happy princess. Then why are you crying? I am wet with your tears. So the bird asked the statue that who are you? Okay, so he said that I am the happy princess. So the bird asked him again, then why are you crying? And I am wet with your tears. Let's see what the happy prince replies. When I was alive, said the prince, I had a heart like every other man, but I did not know what tears were. I lived in a palace where there were no sadness. In the daytime, I played with my friends in the beautiful garden, and in the evening, I danced. There was a huge wall around the garden. So he replied to this bird that when I was alive, I had a heart like everyone, but the fact is that I did not know anything such as sadness. I did not know what were these tears, because he was living in the palace, and in that palace there was no sadness at all. And in the daytime, he used to play with his friends in the beautiful garden, and in the evening he used to dance. And you all know a palace always has these huge walls, a courtyard type, of something to protect them. So there was a huge wall around his garden, and therefore he did not even knew what other people were facing, what problems people were facing. Okay, so we see that there is a conversation happening between this statue, the happy prince, and the bird swallow. Such a good conversation they are having. They are trying to understand each other's pain. So let's see what more this happy prince wants to tell us. But I did not know what lay on the other side, since there was this huge walls on near his palace. He never knew what was lying on the other side. So I was called the happy prince. I was pleased with my little world. So he was just in his palace, and he did not knew exactly what people were suffering, what were the problems of the people. And so he is saying that I was pleased with my little world. Now I am dead and they have put me up here. I can see all the unhappiness of my city. So now when he's out of that palace, and he can see what he can see, unhappiness of my city, of his city. My heart now is made of a cheap metal, but even that poor heart can feel, and so I cry. So he is telling that now I can see the unhappiness of my city, and my heart now is made up of cheap metal. Okay, but even that poor heart can feel, and so I am crying. Oh, said the swallow to himself, he is not only gold on the outside, far away from here, said the happy prince in a low voice. So the bird, okay, he's saying that even though the statue is covered with gold, he has a good heart from inside as well. Okay, far away from here, said the happy prince in a low voice. There is a poor house in a little street. Through an open window, I can see a woman at a table. So, since the statue is so huge, you can see its own city. And with a small tone of his voice, he is telling the swallow that there is a poor house in a little street. There is a house in a little street, and he can see through the open window a woman at a table. Her face is very thin and she has rough red hands. So that happy prince is describing the woman, that she is very thin and she has a rough red hands. She is making a dress for one of the queen's ladies for a dance in the palace. Her little boy is lying on a bed in the corner of the room. So now he's telling more about that little house, that the woman is stitching a dress for a queen lady for a dance in the palace, and her little boy is lying on the bed in the corner of the room. He is very ill. See, the happy princess can feel and can see the pain of these people. He is crying because she can only give him water from the river. Little bird, will you take my red jewel to her? I can't move from here. My friends are waiting for me in Egypt, said the swallow. I'll explain it to you all. The statue is also telling the swallow that there is a little boy in the bed, corner of the room, and he is very ill. He is crying because the woman, his mother, can only give him water from the river. So now he is requesting this little bird, will you take my red jewel? Now where is this red jewel? It is hung on his waist. Okay, so he's telling the little bird, can you take this jewel? Okay, and give it to that lady. And he also says that the happy princess also says that I cannot move from here. And now since he is a statue, he cannot move. It is difficult. Okay, he cannot move. But what does the swallow reply? My friends are waiting for me in Egypt, said the swallow. Now this the happy prince wants to help this poor family, but he cannot move because he is dead. Now we will see further whether this little bird is helping or whether this little bird is going back to Egypt. So let's move ahead. Little bird, said the prince, please stay. The boy is crying and his mother is so unhappy. So now the happy prince is requesting the bird to stay, and he's trying to convince the bird to stay, and he's also telling that the boy is crying and his mother is so unhappy. The happy prince looked very sad, and the little swallow was sorry for him. It is very cold here, he said, but I will stay with you one night. Okay, so now the little bird is convinced and she's feeling very cold. Maybe that particular bird is not suitable for that city, and the Egypt city is more warm, and therefore this little swallow wanted to move back to his home, that is in Egypt. But then he made up his mind and he said that okay, fine, I will stay here for one night. Tomorrow I will take the jewel. "Thank you, little bird," said the prince. So the swallow took the great red gel from the prince's waist and flew away with it over the roofs and the town. So the next morning we see that the little bird is ready. She took that red gel from his waist and the little bird started flying. Okay, he passed the palace and heard the sound of dancing. The birds passed over the rivers and flew and flew. At last he came at the poor little house and looked inside. The boy was lying on the bed. So the whatever the statue was saying, whatever he observed was true, and he flew and flew until he reached that poor little house street, and he saw that the little boy was lying on the bed. Whatever the happy princess was telling about the mother, the child, it was true. He also heard the sound of people dancing, okay, in the palace. So whatever the prince was telling, that mother must be stitching a gown for a party. The mother was asleep. She was so tired. He flew in and put the great jewel on the table. So we see that the mother was so tired, uh, preparing and making the best dress for the queen. She was so tired, and so she was in her deep sleep. The bird flew inside and he put the red jewel on the table. Then he flew round the bed, moving the air around the boy's face with his wing. Okay, so even the boy was asleep, and the bird was taking this rounds, you all can say, around the bed. "Oh," said the boy, "my face does not feel so hot. I think I'm getting better." And he fell asleep. So now we see that the boy who was ill was feeling well, he was feeling good, he was feeling okay. He thought that he's getting better, and therefore we see that he's feeling okay, but still he is in that deep sleep. It may be that the bird was having this power of helping someone, and maybe you can see that the little boy was feeling good. Maybe God was observing this little bird, and maybe the little bird was trying to help this family. Okay, okay, let's move ahead. When the day came, the swallow fell down to the river for a bath. So now he wanted to get fresh, and so he came down to the river for bath. A clever man saw him. "That is very unusual," he said. Okay, so a clever man was passing by the street, maybe, or near the road of the river, and he saw that this bird over here, it is very unusual. He said, "That kind of bird here in winter, I must write down. I will go to Egypt tonight," thought the swallow. So now this man thought that I will write it down. Okay, I will to the write it down, and I will inform that this kind of bird is over here, and that is something unusual. But when the swallow was taking bath, we see that he was thinking that today he will go to Egypt. When the moon came up, he flew back to the happy prince. "Can I do anything for you in Egypt?" Now this bird is telling this happy prince that if you want, I can do something for you in Egypt. Since I am flying today in Egypt, I can help you. I can do something for you in Egypt. He said, little bird," said the prince, "please, will you stay with me for one more night?" Now he is telling, the happy prince is telling that, "Now please don't go. Please be there for me. Please don't go. Please stay with me for one more night." "My friends are waiting for me," answered the bird. The bird wanted to go back to Egypt because his friends were waiting. Okay. Far away across the city, said the prince. Now he is telling about some other house who needs help. Okay, so we see that the prince is telling this happy prince, the happy prince is telling his little bird that I can see a young writer in a little room at the top of a house. He is sitting at a table that is covered with papers. At his side, there are some dead flowers. He is trying to finish a story, but he is very cold and he cannot write. There is no fire in the room and he is weak. Now, the happy prince is telling about some other family, some other house, and he describes the house that there is a writer, a young writer in a little room at the top of the house. He's sitting at a table and it is covered with papers, and now since he is a writer, obviously that entire table will be covered with paper. Okay, at his side there are some dead flowers. He's trying to finish a story, but he is very cold. It is since it is very cold over here in this particular city, he cannot write properly. He's feeling very cold, and there is no fire in the room at all. He is weak and he is hungry. So now he is describing that house, and he's telling that this particular house there is a young writer who is staying there, and he's feeling so cold. He's not able to write at all. He's feeling weak and he's feeling very hungry. Okay, so we see now, let's see in the second half whether this little bird is helping the happy prince, or whether this little bird is going back to Egypt, because he promised him to stay for only one day, but now the prince is telling him to stay for another day. So let's see in the second half whether this little prince, whether this little bird is helping the happy prince. I hope you all understood this lesson, half chapter. It is very cute, and we can see that it's a fairy tale about a happy prince, and he is telling this swallow to help. Okay, thank you students, have a nice day, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.